Today on Horsepower, our cool 55 comes together, body and soul, so to speak. Hey, welcome to the shop. A couple of weeks ago, we launched a totally unique project for us, one we call our Super Shoebox. We started with Art Morrison's new GT Sport Classic chassis, added a Curry Track 9 rear end, strange coilover suspension, wheel with disc brakes all the way around, and for power, we dropped in a GM Performance Parts 502 backed by a TCI 4L80E tranny. Then made it a true roller with Nostalgia GT wheels and BF Goodrich rubber. We also went to the place where this project was born, Bohannon Concepts in Cookeville, Tennessee, and well, that's where the fiberglass chop-top body was built, and a little later, you're gonna see how we made it to the frame. Before we can do that, though, we've got other things to handle, like fuel and brake lines, a drive shaft, and, of course, accessories for this big block here.
We installed one of these front-runner drive systems on Chuck's Chevelle wagon recently, and we thought it'd be a good piece to use on our Super Shoebox. Now, the kit uses this main bracket that bolts up to the block using the 4 water pump studs, and all the accessories mount to it. Now, the kit includes all your brackets, pulleys, belt, and all your necessary hardware to install it.
It also includes an aluminum reverse rotation water pump from Stewart Performance, that Sandon mini compressor for the AC Mike just bolted up, and this 100-amp one-wire alternator, which bolts up next. There you go. Then slide the water pump over the 4 studs, and both the crank pulley to the harmonic balancer. The next thing to go on is this power steering bracket. Now we can slide this assembled main bracket over the 4 studs, and we're going to secure it with 2 nuts on the driver's side only. Well, next we can install the belt tensioner and bracket over the passenger side water pump studs.
Finally, I bolted up the power steering pump we got from AGR, and once it's tightened down, all we have to do is install our belt.
Man, what a sweet looking setup, especially after the chrome work we got done at Advanced Plating. I mean, check it out. Everything from this intake and valve covers, control arms, coilovers, and well, a whole lot more. But after all, we do want our shoebox to be the goingest, showingest, shiniest 55 on the road.
Yeah, but we also need those big Wilwood brakes to bring this car to a halt. So we're using stainless steel lines and fittings from Pure Choice. Now, if you've never done this before, the only tools you'll need are a tube cutter, a flaring tool, and a tube bender. To use the tube bender, all you need to do is load it up, find your angle, and make the bend. Well, that's it for the brakes. Now notice how we use stainless steel clamps along the frame rails to hold all of our lines snug and in place. Oh, and one more thing, we even mounted our proportioning valve here on the frame rail for easy access.
Hey, great job on those brake lines, but here's a little tip for you guys that might be new to this. You want to connect those hard lines here at the brakes to about 15 inches of steel braided line. Now, that's to allow for movement in the suspension and steering. Man, you are on the ball today, Junior. Hey, we're also using Pure Choice fuel lines. These are 3/8 diameter, and as you can see, we're running them on top of the frame rail all the way up to the fuel rail. Once we get our fuel tank installed a little later down the road, we'll run a short piece of braided line from this fuel filter to it, and that'll prevent any vibration from causing a line break or leak. Now, of course, with fuel injection, you got to have a return line, and we'll run ours parallel to this fuel delivery line we just installed.
Now, no matter what kind of mount you're using, your engine's always going to get some torque movement. Now, we're using a stainless braided line here to feed our big 502's fuel rail. Now, this line is flexible, so just like out back, that'll help prevent any line breakage or leaks. Now, it's time for us to take a break, and with any luck, my buddy back there will finish that return line without springing a leak himself. We'll be right back.
He's a legend, you know. I mean, as far as drag racing goes, and we just love him.
His name is George Ray, and his Wildcat strip in Arkansas is the last of a drag racing dying breed. We'll take you there for some wild heads-up pandemonium later in the show.
Hey, welcome back to the shop where we just finished running the fuel and brake lines on our Super Shoebox. Right now, what do you say we take care of the missing link to our drivetrain? A couple days ago, we made some measurements and ordered this aluminum fully balanced drive shaft from Dynotech. Now, this thing uses Spicer U-joints and a 1350 yoke.
We're about ready to drop the body on our Shoebox chassis, but first, check this out. In order to eliminate any vibration or noise travel, the body is going to rest on these reproduction rubber mounts from classic Chevy.
Yeah, but right now I know what you might be thinking. How are those two guys going to lift this body and place it on that frame without getting help or a hernia? Good question. I mean, this thing is fiberglass, but it's got to weigh about 500 pounds. We got the answer right over here. You all set back there? John Bohannon, of course, the man who created our 55 SS body, also fabbed up this custom hoist that uses 2 electric winches. It's going to make mounting that body to the frame a snap.
Plus, it'll help prevent any damage to the fiberglass body and the paint on the chassis. Looks pretty good. Let's get it over there.
All right, here we go. Right there, I think.
The body attaches to the frame from the inside using 3.5-inch bolts.
Well, there it is all together. Tell you what, I love the way this 55 is sitting. Nice stance, huh?
Yeah, it's nice to see our Super Shoebox taking shape. Now, next time we have it in here, we're going to mount our master cylinder, brake booster, take care of some of the wiring, and even hang some more body panels.
Oh yeah, plus we'll show you how we rig up the power windows, we'll hang some doors, and pretty much get this thing ready for the paint shop. Well, I hope you're ready for a special ride down the fast lane of muscle car memories. Buckle up, because we're coming right back.
There ain't no bracket racing. When the light turns green, you better get.
His Wildcat drag strip has become a little legend in the world of down-home heads-up racing. Next, a birthday salute to George Ray, one of the unsung heroes of American hot rod.
Cruising down 40, Saturday morning, going to George Ray's Wildcat strip. Every mile closer, I'm feeling younger. It's been a while since I made this trip. Those were the days. I'm headed back to where I'm from to see George Ray. Drop that flag as I make one more run. And here's a place where time's passed slowly while the cars have gone faster. Where an unassuming former mechanic, now horsepower hero, carries on a timeless tradition every Sunday the way he has since 1961. George Ray, like many of his friends, was caught up in the hot rod hysteria of the late 50s and early 60s. What possessed you to open up a drag strip?
We'd go off other places and they wouldn't be nice to you. You know, all they wanted to do is get your money when you came in. And we was at this place and friction come up and I said, well, I'll just go home and build me a drag strip.
And build one he did. Change it, he never did, at least very much.
And I'd line them up. Oh, you ready? You ready? Throw the flag, see?
First came out here, I had a 56 Chevy, 2-door hardtop, and it had a 3-speed transmission in it, and we ran H-stock stick automatic. And we had a lot of fun racing out here.
Yes, there was a little betting on the side and sometimes some pretty good scrimmages, but it usually ended up pretty good.
But you'll find anything and everything at George Ray's drag strip.
It's always been that way, I guess.
Since day one.
We came to visit George Ray a day before the race, only months after he broke both feet after falling from a tree. Of course, he's always got his trademark hand-belt hot rod to get him around the strip.
Just climb out over in there, boy.
These are straight pipes back here, aren't they?
Yeah, yeah.
Sounds good. Now, how'd you get the name Wildcat drag strip?
All alone.
All alone. Like a wildcat, huh?
People know all over the doggone country, come to George Ray's, and you get in, you run for like $6, and spectator or not, and it's just a lot of fun.
We don't make a lot of money. It's just more fun for him than anything.
Yeah.
Now, for my part, I might raise the price a little bit.
Nah, I never had much money. I don't need no money. I just need a good crowd and drag race, all I need.
This is a good place to come race. Anybody that ever been to George Ray's, you can come up here one time.
He treats everybody the same. He has no favorites. Just, everybody's on the same level.
Now, here's how it works at George Ray's. Everybody leaves off this 4/10 Pro tree. That means they leave at the same time. And while there are some index classes where you can break out, it's all heads up, the way it's always been.
There ain't no bracket racing. When the light turns green, you better get.
Now, here are some quick observations we made at George Ray's. First, a bulb lights up over the lane of the winning driver. Also, in true run what you brung tradition, you see every kind of car and truck imaginable racing, for which you must furnish your own water for the burnout box. If you're claustrophobic, the little 8-mile track takes a little getting used to, especially if you opt for one of the all-out wide-open classes.
Usually wide opens anywhere from 510 to 540s.
Now, the driver of this Chevelle was only a little shook up after his contact with the fence, and after cleaning up a few loose parts, the racing resumed.
H-Stock Automatic, 23 and 83.
While anyone with $6 and a will to race can come and have fun, better bring some brawny power to the top wide-open class. Ronnie Tritch's winning weapon is a vet with a naturally aspirated 600 cubic inch engine. It's got racing heads, a power glide, and a 5/16 gear out back.
I love going fast as I can go.
You still get a kick out of it?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I love them people. They'll come up and hug me. And most of all is hugging the women. I like that. And there are a bunch of them, and they're all glad to see me hug them. Oh, they act like it.
Well, as the afternoon wears on, the cars get faster, the crowd gets wilder, and the competition for Sunday's bragging rights at George Ray's heats up to a boil. We'll discover what it takes to win today and always here at George Ray's Wildcat Strip when we come back.
Welcome back to the show where it's hot here in Northeast Arkansas in more ways than one. Speaking of that, about time for finals. Let's see what it takes to win here at George Ray's in a couple of our favorite classes.
In the all-out heads-up class, Terry Bennett from Little Rock rocked his way into the finals with his home-built Super Comp dragster. His opponent, none other than racing veteran Ronnie Tritch. they go, as Terry trumps the vet, chasing him down with a 530 to Ronnie's 548 here on this 8th mile Wildcat Strip.
I'm real proud to win today. I had a lot of fun, and that's what George Ray's is about mostly, is fun.
Well, it's about time for all of us to go home as the sun sets on yet another Sunday at George Ray's Wildcat Strip. A little piece of still living drag racing history that in some small way captures the whole spirit of high performance. For me, this horsepower homecoming has been a 40-year-old dream fulfilled. Coming back to this landmark strip that once represented just about everything about those rebellious, car-crazy younger years here in my hometown. And the best part? Finally getting to meet this icon of heads-up, down-home drag racing. A legend, if you will, who keeps an all-American tradition alive here in Paramount.
So you're going to keep doing it as long as you can,
Yeah.
and then what?
Yeah, go tow folks home again.
What would happen to the strip, though?
Now that's gonna be a question.
Take care of yourself. Okay, we'll see y'all later now.
Those were the days. I'm headed back to where I'm from to see George Ray. Drop that flag as I make one more run. One more run. One more run. One more run.
Are you in the market for an alternator for your street machine? How about one that has high output and high eye appeal? Well, MSD has this new advanced power systems piece that's CNC machined from billet aluminum and features universal mounting for multiple applications. Plus, it comes with slide locks for easy installation. Now, they're available on 105 through 160 amp models. So if you want to charge your street machine and only discharge about $290 from your wallet, this alternator could be for you.
Well, here's a pretty slick high part, whether you got a street machine, a boat, or even a big rig. It's an all-in-one grease gun kit from Omni Lubricants, and here's what you get: a professional grease gun, cartridge of their synthetic green grease, some CRG grease that acts as a sealing compound, plus an assortment of fittings and caps. Now, when the job is done, they'll even help you clean up with some shop towels and even hand cleaner. Now, this is a kit that won't clean out your wallet, though, with prices starting at under 50 bucks.
Well, it's time for us to clean up the shop and hit the road. We'll see you next time here in the Horsepower Shop.
You bet. Oh, I did it last week, pal.
I guess seniority rules.